Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakal giving double honor to the apostle of this great millstone, peace and blessings to us pushing this truth and sincerity, and Kwam Yasharala. All right, it's the brother Apostle Kadash coming to you again with another lesson. And this one I'm talking about World War III, or that prophecy that's at the doorstep. You know, a lot of these prophecies at the doorstep, but one that's been real hot lately is World War III because of what's been going on in the world right now, right? You got wars that's been dragging on, and you also got new wars popping up, right? And a really big thing right now is with the Iran, I believe, and Israel, right? So a big thing about that is we all know that Israel is clicked up with the United States and NATO, but you have Iran who's clicked up with BRICS and Russia, which is obviously just the Lord he's setting the table for World War III, right? Because even people in the world saying this is World War III, right? And I'm going to say this first and foremost. This is why we give all praises to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah for giving us eyes to see. This is also why we give double honors to the apostle of the great millstone, because the scriptures talk about then they shall know a prophet was amongst them in Ezekiel, right? The apostles was teaching about World War III back when Barack Obama was bombing shit. Back when World War III wasn't a thought to the average person. But yet the apostles was teaching it, and the apostles and elders was teaching it years before it was in you people's mind. So you got to see who the man of the Lord is, right? The ones who actually, a prophet, they prophesy to speak before, meaning they going to tell you what's getting ready to come to this place. Did they not prophesy? Did they not tell y'all World War III was coming? All right, but I just throw that out there because you gotta, come on, man. That's a clear sign of who the men are. All right, but this is 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 29, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. And basically, it's just going into how the dragons of Arabia, we could call them the Ishmaelites, but it's really going into all them Middle Eastern sand niggas. Basically, they're going to be over here in America. They're going to be doing terrorist attacks. And really, wherever they at, they're going to be attacking. All right? Because Ezra's seeing his vision. He's seeing the dragons of Arabia, which is basically your Iran, your Iraq, your Afghanistan, all your sand people, right? Some Syrians in there, stuff like that. They all mixed up in there. They going to be attacking. We already seen, we're going to call them the Twin Towers, even though that was really, if you know, you know. But, you got these different groups over there in the Middle East. I'm just going to speak on Ishmael right now. Scriptures call Ishmael a wild man. Out of all the places in the earth, where Esau get the most resistance from? He get it from Ishmael. One, because we're conquered. So next up would be Ishmael. He's a wild man. He still got his women kind of in order over there. He still got, they heathens, so I'm not giving them no props, but they women still covered up. They men as soldiers. They separated from the rest of the world. Why? Because they kind of, not all the way, but they've kind of they put up a fight consistently against Esau. And it shows you that's the spirit they in, is to fight Esau. Really anybody. They wild. This is wild. This what I brought the scripture for. They're gonna resist. When Esau come out with perfect example, like I was speaking on, Iran said, I'm not making this up. Iran said they're gonna attack Israel, which I believe they already did it. And anybody who joined on their side, they're gonna consider them an enemy. And they were specifically talking to the United States, Britain, I think the French, and NATO. Basically telling them hey, they attacked us first, and we about to attack them back. Anybody that feels some type of way about it, we can go to war about it. So yes, the dragons of Arabia, which Ezra, the prophet, he saw, this is getting ready to come to pass. Which is just going to bring us to World War III, like I'm going into. This is Joel chapter 3, verse 2. I will also gather all nations, all 18, goddammit, It say, and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is the Middle East. It say, and will plead with them there. I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage, Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. And the Lord gonna get the get back for us. Here it is. They done scattered us. You know, we'd have been brought into captivity after captivity. You got Jake's here, Jake's there. You know, we've been mistreated, abused, and beaten, and filleted, and anything that you can imagine. The Lord, he about to get that get back for us. You know, y'all armies, these nations' armies, they biggest, best army gonna be fighting World War III. And then Yahushua gonna crack the clouds and show them their armies ain't nothing. And he gonna free us. That's what's gonna happen in Joel 3. All the nations gonna be coming together to fight, and the biggest fight of their life gonna happen, and they gonna be utterly destroyed. Jumping down, this is Joel 3:10. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. We know we in this time period because it was a time period where, first and foremost, it say beat your plowshares into the swords and your pruning hooks into spears, meaning you got these countries who maybe they was mainly focused on agriculture, or, you know, they was all about bettering their country, but mainly agriculture. Guess what? They turning them agricultural weapons into war weapons, into instruments of war. All right, because it's a time of war. You know, here it is. They probably had inventions that was made to make farmland better or to make citizen life better. They taking that technology and they turning it into weapons. You had drones. People use drones to fly around. This is a modern day plowshare. You use a drone, you could water your field. You could cut down some crops. Guess what they're using drones for now? To blow shit up. They put C4 on the back of it and they send it your way and it explode. So they turning they everyday items, right? Regular items into weapons of war. And that's what's happening right now. This isn't talking about the ancient world. It's talking about today, the age we live in now. Look at Ukraine right now. Does it look like they worried about farming? No. Every man they put their hands on, he got to go to war. I think they got like 12 of those out there. They got men that's 70 out there. They're worried about war. Why? Because these are the times we living in. World War III is at hand. And then it say, let the weak say I'm strong. Hey, you got countries that they wouldn't have, come on, in the 1940s, they wouldn't even have looked America in his eye because they was so scared. After what America did with them bombs, but guess what? They don't care anymore. It's been 80 years. Some of these countries, they got bigger, and everybody got a bigger bomb than the Fat Boy and all that. Them was hydrogen bombs. Everybody got missiles now, intercontinental ballistic missiles. Most countries got intercontinental ballistic missiles, which is a lot stronger than a hydrogen bomb. So these countries, Iran, they got missiles, allegedly. North Korea, they got missiles. A lot of different places got missiles. They not scared no more. They said, let the weak say I am strong. Like I said, certain countries that was taking tariff and taking tax from America, they to the point now where they dropping the US dollar and they saying to hell with them. If they want to go to war, let's go to war. But it wasn't always like that. That's how we know this is prophetic, because it's happening now. That's the important part. It's happening right now. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 8. A time to love and a time to hate. Oh, why it blank out on me? It's like, I don't know. I will read it from here. It say Ecclesiastes 3 and 8. A time to love and a time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace. Right now we in a time of war. Do it look like anybody is walking around giving out hugs and chocolates with chocolate kisses? And do it look like we in a good time to be friendly right now? No, it's a time of war. You got Canada and the United States having issues. What more do you gotta, what better sign do you need? You got Canada saying a relationship with the United States is over with because they don't want to be a part of the United States. And the United States saying we're going to make y'all the 51st state. It's a time of war. You got Mexico, who's really just a business partner with the United States. They not really rocking with them. So your closest people, they want the time of war. You got Russia saying a world without Russia. Vladimir Putin, he said a world without Russia is not a world he want to live in. What does that mean? He want to use them ICBMs. He said he basically in the mindset of, if we gonna lose this war, everybody gonna lose this war. It's a time of war. You got war all around the earth right now. And it's getting ready to be a World War III. This is Revelation chapter 9, verse 12. One woe is past, and behold, there came two woes more hereafter. So this is when John the Revelator, he saw World War I. Because remember, woe means death and destruction. When you look at these world wars, it's death and destruction. Right? You had World War I with I believe they had the flamethrowers and things like that. That's when guns really was like really popping in war. Like they did a lot of innovating with them and made them a lot better. Still had bad nets and things like that, but he saw World War I pass, and then he had two more to go, right? When you get to Revelations 11, it say the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. The reason why it say cometh quickly because 1,000 years to us is a day to the Most High. So yeah, it's been 80 years since the last World War, but that's nothing but a couple minutes to the Lord. What was that, 5 minutes? So in the Lord's time, this did come quickly. This 3 wars. Could you imagine getting 3 fights back to back, and on the third one you get a 5-minute break, and then you got to get right back to fighting? That's very quick to get back in a fight, and that's from the Lord perception. That's how fast these wars just happen, right? So this third woe is gonna come. Thus saith the scriptures, because the Lord said, "I change not for you." Roughly paraphrase, I think it's Malachi. Or is it Micah 3:6? Malachi 3. I think it's Micah 3:6. I change not so that therefore you sons of Jacob are not consumed. Right? So anything the Lord say, he ain't gonna go back on it. So therefore, this third woe is gonna come. Isaiah 9:5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise. Confused noise is what? The grunting, the stabbing sounds, the screaming. You got probably fires crackling. You got the sound of metal slashing. It say, and garments rolled in blood. Why? Because you got people getting stabbed up. You got people getting sliced. Limbs is getting chopped off. Heads getting chopped off. People is getting impaled. People are losing fingers. They getting their face chopped up. All right. It say, but this shall be with burning of fuel and fire. Meaning why? This war is going to be fought with ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles. All right. In this war, you still going to have hand-to-hand. You still going to have gunfights. But the main part of this World War III, it's going to be when them ICBMs get shot off and the whole world going to smell smoke and fire. You going to look up, you know, these chemtrails, these airplanes ain't got nothing on what these ICBMs about to do to the sky. You're going to think it was a air show, and you're going, oh, they got the airplanes out. And then boom, your ass a skeleton like Terminator. That's how this war going to be fought. And then we see that even now when you look at the live feed, because they got live feed. Now you can watch wars in live feed. When you look at the Ukraine and Russian war, they're using smaller missiles. They got drones that'll pinpoint you and blow that whole little area up. So the technology that we've been prophesying about is here. It's plain and simple. This is Revelation chapter 9, verse 16. And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. That horseman that's talking about the ICBMs, talking about the missiles, going to be 200 million warheads. Not missiles, but warheads, because one missile can hold multiple warheads, right? But 200 million warheads is going to hit this place, Babylon the Great. Because you got to remember, the beast shall hate the whore. All those missiles from NATO, they're going to flip and they're going to be shot on here. All those missiles from Russia, they're going to flip. They're going to be shot on here. North Korea and they 3 missiles, they're going to shoot them over here. Everybody going to be aiming at Babylon the Great, which is known as America. Right? It say, and I have heard the number of them. He know the number. That's why he gave it to us. That was pretty much it. But yeah, that was just a quick hitter. I think it was quick. Might have been a little lengthy, but yeah, World War III is knocking at the door. Of course, we got other prophecies coming, but World War III is the hot topic lately. All right. And it's soon to come to America. These videos you see of these people in Israel, they fleeing to Australia and this and that. Because you know why? Because war is at their home. The brother Iquan did a video, I believe. It was an Iranian news channel, and a fucking explosion went off in there. Because why? Because their home is a war zone. That's getting ready to come here to Babylon the Great, which is known as America. I hope this video was edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Kadash, giving double honor to the Apostle Elders, great millstone. Peace and blessings, brothers, pushing the truth and sincerity, and Kwam Yasharala.